Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of Monsanto? If you haven't heard of the agribusiness and biotech giant Monsanto, you've certainly consumed their products. Here's a list of some of the brands they own. You probably recognize these brands and have probably consumed some of them. You may be thinking this is a good thing, and you would be dead wrong. This is because most of these products are made with NutraSweet, which is made from GMOs. More on this in a second. Monsanto also produces the chemical weed killer called Roundup and the Terminator seed technology, which makes all seeds sterile. This makes it impossible for farmers to reuse seeds. Monsanto is the world's largest producer of genetically modified seeds, which originate from genetically modified organisms commonly referred to as GMOs. They're deeply entrenched in the political system, spending millions of dollars lobbying each year. Monsanto has a virtual monopoly in their space because almost everyone that eats food from a grocery store has consumed foods from Monsanto. Such foods as conventional sugar, soy, corn, and other vegetables. Because Monsanto created the Roundup weed killer, Monsanto seeds are created with Roundup-resistant technology, which allows the big farmers to spray chemicals on all the crops en masse and only kills the weeds. Pretty sneaky, huh? This obviously puts a lot of chemicals into the food we eat every day from grocery stores. Monsanto is literally killing America. Before Monsanto, farmers used to spot spray the weeds one by one so no chemicals got on the food. Spot spraying weeds is still practiced by local farmers and is still the healthiest option. Listen, if you're like most people, you've probably consumed GMOs and most of the foods produced with GMOs by Monsanto. Don't worry, it's not your fault. GMOs are virtually impossible to avoid if you're eating grocery store foods. In a moment, I'm going to show you how you can cut your grocery bill up to 90% and only eat healthy organic foods. First, I'd like to show you how to identify what items in your grocery store produce department are GMO grown. Look at the PLU sticker on produce. If it has 4 numbers, it's conventionally grown. If it has 5 numbers starting with a 9, it's organically grown. If it has 5 numbers starting with an 8, it's GMO. Remember back in 2009 when small, local, and backyard farmers were under attack by our own government? Let me give you a refresher. In 2008, Rosa DeLauro introduced bills H.R. 2749, H.R. 875, and H.R. 759. These bills were designed to give power and competitive advantage to Monsanto by criminalizing seed banking, stripping away property rights from small farmers, and placing easement on their land, which would allow warrantless government entry and enacting strict government regulations on all these small local farmers. These regulations would make it impossible to comply with, which would land these small local farmers with up to $1 million in fines or up to 10 years in prison. Well, it turns out Rosa DeLauro's husband has Monsanto as a client, and Rosa herself received $180,000 in donations from Monsanto, not to mention the millions they spend on lobbying every year. Monsanto bought their way into Congress and is using the government against us to seize control of our food supply and force us to consume their products. Monsanto lobbied to get their own employee, Michael Taylor, back into government. He's the guy that forced RGBH on us in the 90s. He positioned himself as a food safety czar, and Obama put him back in office. Now he controls everything small farmers do, all in an effort to put more money in Monsanto's pocket. Then Obama appointed Monsanto shield Tom Vilsack as USDA chief so he could get the job done for Monsanto. This is how Monsanto has become the giant they are.
Most people don't realize that Monsanto has been around for about a century. They've acquired lots of resources, and they are very clever and sophisticated. They know how the game works. They understand lobbying. They understand bribery. They have been effective at essentially stacking the political structure, the federal regulatory agencies, in their favor, to the point that it's almost physically impossible to pass any type of federal regulations or legislation, because the people who make those choices have been in the revolving door of Monsanto. They either previously worked for them or they're paid consultants for them.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going to stand for it any longer, which is why I made this video. My name is Jack Reaver, and I've been preparing for SHFT ever since my dad, an ex-Marine, got back from serving 2 tours of duty in Nam and informed me what could happen. Since he returned, He's taught me everything he learned about survival, self-reliance, and preparedness. Now I'd like to share the same skills that saved his life over there with you. With every meal, each of us has an opportunity to make choices that will shift power away from the dysfunctional mainstream food system to spark a nationwide cultural shift to local, seasonal eating and growing more of our own foods. As Henry Kissinger said, control oil and you control nations. Control food and you control the people. Do you realize this is what our government is trying to do to us? They're trying to control our oil, our energy, and now our property and our own homegrown foods. Monsanto is such a monster, a cultural movement has started against Monsanto. It's called the March Against Monsanto. The March Against Monsanto filmed a full movie called Seeds of Death. This movie examines all of the studies on the impact of GMOs. GMOs damage organs, cause infertility, cause immune system failure, cause holes in the GI tract, multiple organ system failures, and more.
Basically, they've taken agriculture and built an industrial model which doesn't fit nature. So instead of changing their agricultural model to accommodate what is natural, they're changing nature to accommodate the industrial model.
And have you noticed the recent increases in prices? Monsanto and other big food chemical companies are making more food for less, and then they turn around and charge us more money for unhealthy foods. Monsanto is throwing a monkey wrench in the life of this country. They're literally killing America one by one. As an informed patriot, don't you deserve better than that? You bet you do. I'd like to show you a better way, the way I've been living for the past 11 years. We need to discreetly grow our own real food. This way we can keep it hidden from the government if they ever try to pull those shenanigans again. What if a food crisis unexpectedly hits the states? Even the biggest stockpile won't last forever. You need to be self-reliant to grow your own food, naturally and organically.
The pharmaceutical industry has no interest in having you well because they don't make any money if you're well. And the pharmaceutical industry is the biotech industry.
Or maybe there's a mass exodus of people dying from all of Monsanto's deadly chemicals. Maybe it just hasn't affected enough people yet. And make sure for certain you keep your crops hidden from your unprepared neighbors. Only prepared patriots need to know about this plan I'm calling the Backyard Food Bank. Backyard farmers have successfully grown food for millennia without any need for federal regulation or intervention. 7 billion people on the planet are living proof that growing and eating food works without Big Brother regulating how it's done. Here's a picture of my Backyard Food Bank, and I'd like to show you how you can have your own. With the Backyard Food Bank, there's real hope for the future. Us patriots still have what it takes to make America the land of the free and the home of the brave. The first step in becoming fearless of the worldwide famine is to have your own food.
The use of GM in agriculture is a risk that is simply not worth taking.
The time is now to band together against Monsanto, big food, and corrupt politicians. The time is now to grow our own food. Allow me to introduce you to the easiest system in the world for growing your own organic, GMO-free food right in your own backyard, even if you have a small yard or live in an apartment or a condo. The Backyard Food Bank. You could go out and read every book ever written on backyard food banking, spend hours interviewing industry insiders, and actually go out in the field and test and troubleshoot this stuff like I have over the past 11 years. Or read this simple 58-page report that condenses down everything I've learned about backyard food banking into a 25-minute read. No fluff and no BS. Just the raw information and systems you need to fight back against the big chemical companies, corrupt politicians while starting your own backyard food bank. You'll never have to rely on chemically infested, deadly foods ever again when you get the Backyard Food Bank. Here's just a few things you'll get in the Backyard Food Bank. 1. How to easily get your backyard food bank to produce 300 pounds or more of homegrown organic GMO-free food. 2. The 3 critical resources you'll need to be successful. This will make sure you don't need to rely on Monsanto and big food for your food supply. 3. The 1 simple trick to use when setting up your backyard food bank to guarantee you'll grow foods in the shortest time and to its full potential. 4. How to keep your backyard food bank out of sight from unprepared neighbors and corrupt politicians. This will make sure you stay self-reliant when SHFT. 5. The best types of food to put in your backyard food bank. These foods have the highest yield, longest life, and best taste. 6. How to get 100% of the setup and maintenance done for you so you don't need to do anything to get delicious organic foods if you don't want to. This strategy is very effective for older people that can't do much physical activity but still want to grow their own food. 7. How to turn surplus food into a small fortune. Your surplus can be used for bartering during a food crisis or other disasters because food will be much more valuable than money. 8. How to keep your food bank alive and healthy in all climates, even extreme heat and frigid cold. 9. Where to find the best survival seeds that won't go sterile after their first use, and much, much more. I can't take credit for the system. I consulted everybody that I knew who was a success at food banking, read everything available on the subject of backyard farming and food banking, genetic engineering, and then added my own personal experiences to develop the system. Don't let the size, just 58 pages, fool you. Over 157 hours of research went into this project. It is truly the best of the best there is, and the system is simple and fast to learn so you can implement this information immediately. I've done all the hard work for you. You now have the complete system to have 100% food and health freedom from Monsanto and other big food and chemical companies. This is your chance to join the movement and start your own backyard food bank. If I were to charge you the amount of hours I put in the system, it would be $3,140. You'd probably think I'm nuts if I asked $3,140 for this guide. You'd probably expect me to come to your house and build it for you at that price, right? Well, let me ask you this. First, picture this. All hell breaks out. There's no food left in any store. There's no gas or oil available anywhere. Food lines in FEMA camps are 72 hours long, and you've already gone through your entire food stockpile. Is $3,140 really a lot of money to guarantee your family has a steady supply of fresh food? Absolutely not. Your neighbors will be sitting in FEMA camp food lines for 72 hours just to get a few scraps of food. You'll be eating healthy, delicious, GMO-free fruits and vegetables peacefully with your family. Don't worry. I would never ask that much to access my secrets of the backyard food bank, even though Monsanto would probably charge you more. A lot more. Because I want to propel this movement to grow as fast as possible, I'm going to let you have access to everything in the Backyard Food Bank for not the retail price of $37, not the members-only price of $27, not even $17. If you act now and join our movement today, it's only $7 for immediate download access to the complete Backyard Food Bank. Click the Add to Cart button now to get immediate download access to the Backyard Food Bank for only $7. Listen, at $7 I'm not making much on this. It's basically just covering my cost to get this in your hands. I can't guarantee this price past today. If my costs go up, I'll need to increase the price, and that could happen anytime any of my vendors notify me. When you click the Add to Cart button, you'll be taken to a 128-bit encrypted secure checkout page. All of your information is 100% secure and will not be shared with anyone. As a proud patriot, I feel the need to do a little more for you. I'd really like to give you a shortcut for creating your backyard food farm. Here's what I'm going to do for you. There's a timer running on this page. If you place your order before the timer hits 0, I'm going to send you 10 bags of non-GMO seeds in the mail today, 100% free. I handpicked these GMO-free seeds, and I'd like to give them to you as a special gift for joining our army today. You'll get 10 different types of high-quality seeds. Each of these bags is worth $3 each, or $30 in total, and I'm even going to cover the cost of shipping them to you. So there would be no out-of-pocket cost to you whatsoever. Then every month I'll pick 10 different types of seeds and automatically send them right to your door to add to your survival seed stockpile. You can use them now or later. It doesn't matter. They'll last for 30 years if you keep them indoors. Your monthly Survival Seeds membership will renew at only $27.57 a month after the first 14 days, and the first month is on me. Is your grocery bill $27 a month now? I didn't think so. This will allow you to replace your ever-increasing produce bill for only $27 a month. If you don't want this for some strange reason, you can uncheck the box that says Survival Seeds Bonus on the order form. Now you've got everything you need. The Backyard Food Farm Plan and 10 varieties of high-quality non-GMO heirloom seeds. These seeds will not go sterile after the first use, which means after you eat your delicious fruits and veggies, you'll have 10 times more seeds to replant. You'll have so much produce, you'll be able to set up a farm stand and start putting some nice profits in your pocket. If you're serious about preparing for the worst and sticking it to the likes of Monsanto and Big Food, there's nothing holding you back now. $7 puts the backyard food bank within reach of the vast majority of people. It's not too expensive for even the humblest beginning backyard food bankers. Anyone who's not serious enough about the health and safety of their families to invest $7 into this report isn't going to take the time to use the methods laid out in the report anyway. Anyone who is serious enough to put down the price of a fast food dinner and buy this report has the opportunity to have more food than you can eat every month, no matter what's happening in the food stores. So if you're serious about starting your own backyard food bank and you'd like to start growing your own organic GMO-free fruits and veggies today, click the button below. If you need to justify the expense, skip going to McDonald's for dinner once a week and it's paid for. Here's my double you'll love it guarantee. Guarantee number 1. If for any reason you think my backyard food bank isn't the best $7 you've ever spent, just send me an email and I'll gladly refund your whole $7. Guarantee number 2. If you actually do what I recommend for you to do in the system and your results aren't great, I'll actually refund twice your money. All I ask is that you give me an honest effort. How is that for fair? Time is very much of the essence. I can't stress the time sensitivity of this offer enough. Not only will the 500 charter members go quickly, at which point the $30 discount will expire, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Click on the Add to Cart button below to join now and get instant access to the Backyard Food Bank, risk-free for just $7. Here's what you need to do to order. Have your Visa or MasterCard handy and fill out the 100% secure order form you'll be directed to when you click the Add to Cart button. Warning: you will make mistakes. A man who represents himself in court has a fool for a lawyer, and we all know that people who don't read the instructions screw things up. Get help before you try to grow your own food, or you could screw it up big time. And when a full plan is only $7, you'd be pretty dumb not to grab it. If you miss just one simple step, it could sacrifice your entire crop and all your effort. Either give up on your idea or get the Backyard Food Bank. Otherwise, you're sure to make giant mistakes in areas you haven't even thought of yet. This tiny $7 guide is the only thing standing between you and success. Remember, there is more real actionable information in this tiny report than you'll get reading a dozen books. The systems inside this guide have worked for people just like you. It's 100% guaranteed, so you can't possibly lose money. It's a no-brainer. Save yourself and save your family from the killing of America. Click the Add to Cart button now, and I'll see you on the inside.